As you settle into a comfortable place and allow the noise of the day to slowly dissolve, imagine a quiet room lit by soft moonlight where shadows stretch gently across the floor and time seems to move more slowly. Tonight, we're going to drift together through 25 sleepy facts about cats, those quiet companions who walk so lightly through our lives, leaving warmth in their wake. If you enjoy peaceful journeys like this one, you're warmly invited to like, subscribe, and share, helping this calm space reach others who may be searching for rest. Take a slow breath in and let it out gently. Let your thoughts loosen their grip, your shoulders soften, and your attention settle into the gentle rhythm of whiskers, paws, and purring. Now let's move on to fact 1 and wander back to the beginning, long before cats curled themselves into our homes and hearts. Thousands of years ago, in the warm fields of the ancient Near East, wild cats followed the quiet trails of mice into human settlements. Grain stores attracted rodents, rodents attracted cats, and slowly, cautiously, a relationship formed without commands or cages. Humans did not tame cats in the usual way. Instead, cats chose to stay. They lingered at the edges of firelight, watched from a distance, and returned again the next night. Over generations, their wildness softened just enough to allow closeness while never fully fading. Even now, when a cat sleeps on a windowsill, its body relaxed yet alert, you can sense that ancient balance, half companion, half wandering spirit, still listening for the echo of tall grass and distant stars. Now let's move on to fact 2 and rest within the gentle mystery of a cat's purr. That low, steady vibration seems to float through the air like warm breath on a winter window. Scientists believe cats purr at frequencies that may help heal bones and soothe muscles, not only for themselves, but for those nearby. Yet beyond science, the sound carries something older and quieter. Kittens purr to guide their blind siblings toward warmth. Mothers purr to comfort their newborns in the dark. Adult cats purr when content, but also when afraid or injured, as if reminding themselves that calm still exists somewhere inside. When a cat curls against you and begins that soft humming, it feels less like a noise and more like a small living blanket placed gently over your thoughts, smoothing them into stillness. Now let's move on to fact 3 and observe how cats move through the world as if gravity treats them differently. Their spines ripple like water, each step placed with careful precision. A cat crossing a room seems to float rather than walk, paws touching the floor as lightly as falling leaves. This grace comes from a flexible backbone and powerful muscles that work together like a quiet orchestra. Even when leaping from high places, cats twist their bodies mid-air, turning themselves upright before landing, a skill known as the righting reflex. To watch this is to witness trust in motion, trust in balance, in instinct, in the invisible mathematics of falling safely. It's as if cats carry a private understanding with the air itself, an agreement to move gently through space. Now let's move on to fact 4 and sink into the long, dreamy hours of a cat's sleep. Cats sleep for as much as 16 hours a day, sometimes more, drifting between deep rest and light dozing like clouds shifting across a pale sky. Even in sleep, their ears flick at distant sounds, their whiskers tremble with imagined movement, their paws twitch as if chasing quiet dreams. This rhythm comes from their ancestry as hunters, energy gathered slowly, released quickly, then gathered again. But there is something comforting in their devotion to rest. A sleeping cat seems to give silent permission for the world to pause. When one curls into a warm circle beside you, breathing slow and steady, it becomes easier to believe that rest is not laziness, but a form of wisdom the body remembers. Now let's move on to fact 5 and notice the quiet language written in a cat's eyes. Their pupils widen into dark moons in the night and narrow into silver threads under the sun, adjusting gently to light like tides responding to the pull of distant stars. Cats see well in low light, needing only a small shimmer to navigate darkness. This ability comes from a reflective layer behind their eyes called the tapetum lucidum, which sends light back through the retina, making the most of every faint glow. When a cat looks at you slowly and blinks, it is offering a rare kind of trust, a gesture some call a cat kiss. Returning that slow blink is like whispering back in the same quiet language, saying without sound that you mean no harm. Now let's move on to fact 6 and listen closely to the soft language of a cat's whiskers. These long, delicate strands are not just decoration resting on the face like fine embroidery. They are deeply rooted sensory tools connected to a network of nerves that quietly map the world in invisible lines. A cat uses its whiskers to measure the width of doorways, to sense changes in air currents, to detect movement in darkness where eyes cannot help. In narrow spaces, whiskers brush against walls like fingertips reading the edges of a story written in stone. When a cat pulls its whiskers forward, it is curious. When it presses them back, it is cautious or afraid. Even in sleep, they tremble slightly, gathering information from dreams or distant sounds. In this way, a cat never fully leaves the world, even while resting. Now let's move on to fact 7 and drift into the quiet ritual of kneading. When a cat presses its paws slowly into a soft blanket, a pillow, or your chest, it looks like a gentle dance learned long ago. This movement begins in kittenhood, when newborn cats knead their mother's belly to encourage milk to flow. Long after growing up, cats carry this motion with them like a memory stored in muscle and bone. Each slow press is a return to safety, to warmth, to the first moments of life when hunger and comfort were answered together. When a cat needs you, it is not only shaping the fabric beneath its paws, but touching a time before fear, before distance, before the world grew large. It is a quiet compliment offered without words. Now let's move on to fact 8 and explore the mystery of how cats always seem to find their way home. Stories drift across centuries of cats traveling hundreds of miles through forests, towns, and unfamiliar landscapes to return to familiar windowsills. Scientists believe cats may sense the Earth's magnetic field, carrying a kind of invisible compass in their minds. Others think they remember scent trails like faint threads woven through space. Perhaps it is both, or something gentler still, a memory of belonging that pulls them like moonlight pulls the tide. A cat's home is not only a place, but a feeling, built from familiar shadows, known footsteps, and the quiet shape of comfort waiting behind closed doors. Now let's move on to fact 9 and rest for a moment with the delicate structure of a cat's ears. They can rotate them independently, turning like small satellite dishes toward the softest sound. A mouse breathing beneath leaves, a door opening 2 rooms away, wind brushing against glass. Cats hear frequencies far higher than humans can imagine, sounds thin and bright as starlight. Their ears rise and fall with emotion, standing tall when curious, flattening like folded wings when afraid or angry. Even in sleep, their ears remain partly awake, listening on behalf of the dreaming body. It is as though part of the cat stands guard while the rest drifts through softer worlds. Now let's move on to fact 10 and reflect on how cats experience time differently than we do. A human day is divided into hours, tasks, and distant plans. A cat's day is shaped by light, warmth, hunger, and rest. Morning arrives with pale sunlight touching whiskers. Afternoon settles into quiet stretching on warm floors. Evening hums with movement, shadow, and watchful stillness. Cats do not rush through moments, they enter them fully, lingering in patches of sun as if time itself has slowed to match their breathing. Watching a cat sleep, wake, groom, and sleep again feels like observing a tide that never grows anxious about its return. In their presence, clocks seem unnecessary. The world becomes smaller, softer, easier to hold. Now let's move on to fact 11 and settle into the quiet ritual of a cat grooming itself. A cat's tongue is not soft like velvet as it might appear from a distance, but covered in tiny curved hooks called papillae. These delicate structures act like a natural brush, combing through fur, removing loose hairs, and spreading protective oils across the skin. When a cat cleans itself, it does so with patience, beginning at the paws, moving across the face, down the shoulders, along the back, and finally to the tail, as if tracing the outline of its own existence. This ritual can last for long minutes, sometimes nearly an hour, performed in silence except for the faint sound of rhythmic licking. Grooming is not only about cleanliness, it is how cats calm themselves after stress, how they recenter when the world feels too loud. Each stroke of the tongue is a soft reassurance. I am safe. I am whole. I am still here. Now let's move on to fact 12 and wander gently into the world of feline memory. Cats remember far more than they are given credit for. They recall the sound of familiar footsteps in a hallway, the shape of a shadow at the door, the quiet rhythm of a household settling into sleep. They remember kindness, storing it like warmth beneath their fur. They also remember fear, tucking it carefully away like a sharp stone wrapped in cloth. A cat may avoid a place where it once felt pain, or return again and again to a chair where it once felt loved. Their memory is not loud and analytical like ours. It is emotional, layered with scent and sensation. To a cat, remembering is not replaying images, but re-feeling moments, allowing the past to breathe gently within the present. Now let's move on to fact 13 and listen to the secret conversation between cats and sunlight. Few creatures seem as devoted to light as cats are. They seek it out instinctively, finding narrow beams slipping through windows, warm squares on the floor, golden patches resting on quiet furniture. They fold themselves into these places as if sunlight were a physical object, something soft enough to sleep upon. This habit comes partly from their desert ancestry, where warmth meant survival during cold nights and long shadows, but it has also become a kind of meditation. A cat in sunlight does not hurry. It allows heat to sink slowly into its bones, into its breath, into the deepest quiet of its body. Watching this can feel like watching time itself slow down, thickening into something gentle and golden. Now let's move on to fact 14 and explore the delicate mystery of how cats communicate without sound. Much of a cat's language is written in posture. A lifted tail is confidence. A slow turn of the back is trust. A crouched body speaks of caution. A gentle headbutt is affection offered in silence. Cats speak with the smallest movements, ears shifting slightly, whiskers relaxing, eyelids lowering halfway like curtains drifting closed. Humans often miss these messages, expecting louder signals, but cats live in subtleties. Their conversations are built from soft gestures, from pauses, from the quiet space between one movement and the next. To understand a cat is to learn to listen without ears, to read the shape of stillness. Now let's move on to fact 15 and consider how deeply cats are tied to the night. Their ancestors hunted beneath moonlight. Their eyes evolved to drink in shadows. Their bodies designed for silent movement across sleeping landscapes. Even today, many cats grow more alert as evening settles, when rooms darken and sounds grow distant. This time, known as the crepuscular hour, is when cats feel most awake, most themselves. They wander softly through halls, pausing to listen, touching objects as if confirming the world still exists. Their presence in the dark is calm, never hurried, never afraid. To share a home with a cat at night is to share it with a gentle guardian, one who walks quietly while others dream, keeping silent watch beneath the stars. Now let's move on to fact 17 and listen to the subtle way cats mark the world as their own. They do not carve their names into stone or build walls to declare belonging. Instead, they leave invisible signatures made of scent. Glands on their cheeks, paws, and tails release gentle chemical messages that say, "This place is familiar, this place is safe." When a cat rubs its face against a chair leg, a doorway, or your hand, it is weaving you into its map of comfort. These marks are not warnings, they are soft stitches, binding the world together into something recognizable. Through scent, a cat turns unfamiliar rooms into shelter, turning space into something that feels like home. Now let's move on to fact 18 and consider how deeply cats feel loneliness, even though they often pretend they do not. Cats are independent, yes, but independence is not the same as emptiness. In quiet houses, they listen for footsteps that are not there. They wait beside doors that do not open. They sleep more, not always from tiredness, but from the weight of waiting. When their favorite human returns, their tails lift, their eyes soften, and sometimes they speak in small voices, sounds shaped like questions and relief. A cat may not cling, but it remembers. It counts time not in minutes, but in absence and return. In this way, a cat's heart moves gently but deeply, like water flowing beneath frozen ground. Now let's move on to fact 19 and rest within the strange and beautiful truth that cats see the world differently than we do. Their vision is softer, less colorful, painted mostly in shades of blue and green. Reds and pinks blur into gentle gray. But what they lose in color, they gain in movement. A twitch in grass, a shadow drifting across the wall, a moth trembling near a lamp. These things shine brightly in a cat's attention. Their world is a tapestry of motion, not detail. When a cat stares at something you cannot see, it may be watching the quiet dance of dust in a beam of light or the subtle shifting of air. Their reality is layered with small wonders that humans often step past without noticing. Now let's move on to fact 20 and settle into the ancient relationship between cats and human dreams. In old civilizations, cats were believed to walk between worlds, slipping easily from the visible into the unseen. In Egypt, they were guardians of the home and protectors of the soul. In parts of Europe, they were thought to sense spirits moving quietly through dark halls. Even today, cats often sit near humans sleeping, curling at their feet or beside their heads, breathing slowly in the shared darkness. Some believe cats are drawn to the warmth. Others say they are drawn to the gentle stillness of dreaming minds. Whatever the reason, their presence beside us in sleep feels intentional, as though they are standing quietly at the edge of our thoughts, keeping watch while we drift. Now let's move on to fact 21 and consider the quiet way cats understand personal space. A cat never rushes into closeness without meaning. When it chooses to sit near you, not touching but close enough to share warmth, it is offering companionship without demand. This distance is deliberate, like two lanterns glowing beside each other in the dark, separate yet connected. Cats teach that affection does not need to be loud. Sometimes it is simply presence, a shared silence, the steady sound of breathing in the same room. In this soft way, cats show that love can exist without words, without movement, without proof, only in the decision to remain. Now let's move on to fact 22 and drift into the small, careful sounds cats make when they speak. Their voices are rarely wild or sharp. Instead, they form gentle questions, soft announcements, quiet greetings. Many cats develop unique sounds only for their humans, a private language shaped by shared time, a short chirp for hello, a slow trill for comfort, a long, stretching meow for attention when loneliness begins to grow heavy. These sounds are not commands, they are invitations. Each one is a thin thread extended into the world, hoping to be gently held. Now let's move on to fact 23 and notice how cats carry calm into spaces that feel heavy. A room filled with worry changes when a cat enters. They walk slowly, they sit deliberately, they settle as if pressing invisible weight into the floor, anchoring the air around them. Many people find their breathing slows when a cat sleeps nearby, matching its rhythm without realizing it. The steady rise and fall of a small chest becomes a quiet metronome for the nervous heart. Cats do not try to heal us, they simply exist in stillness, and that stillness spreads. Now, as our journey draws to a close, imagine a single cat curled in a circle of moonlight, its body rising and falling like a tide that never forgets the shore. The world grows quiet around it. Streets soften, clocks forget themselves, thoughts loosen their grip and drift like feathers through still air. You do not need to remember every fact. Let them fade gently like paw prints filling with snow. Keep only the calm, the warmth, the slow rhythm of breathing shared between small living hearts and your own. May your rest tonight be as deep as a cat's sleep, untroubled and soft. May your dreams be warm with quiet light, and may you wake carrying a little of this stillness with you, folded gently inside.